Yeah. Check. Let's go and hit him with a little freestyle to start this off, you know. Hey. It's T-Bai on the KYP, you know me. I don't need no ID, man, motherfuck the police, I be rolling, yeah. Picture me rolling in something that's stolen, Nah, fuck that, I cop that, got the license, yeah. I don't wanna talk back, you can catch me on the ball court still shooting. What you niggas all doing? I'm freestyling, yeah. I keep it, ayy. I keep it, oh shit.
Welcome to the KYP podcast.
Sheeshes.
My name is Danny. I'm here with my co-host
KYP James.
Kevin G.
And as you heard from the freestyle, we have a very special guest from Toronto. Wrong slide. Rapper, recording artist, and musician T-Bai. Say hi to the world.
Yo, what's up? What's up? How y'all doing? It's T-Bai. Thank you guys for having me. KYP, what's up?
Wow,
Welcome.
bless the mic for real, man.
That was heaven for my ears, man.
Oh,
That was
thank you, man. Thank
so smooth. Wow.
I kind of wish we had that for the actual real episode, huh?
No, we're introducing T-Bai, man. Like
That's a great
Yeah.
introduction.
That's
man.
a great introduction. So we're going to use this mini episode usually to introduce you and your life, how you started with music, and we're just going to ramble around, introduce the world to who T-Bai is.
Okay.
So I just wanted to really start off like with currently what you do, talk about, let's say, current albums you have going on or plans, and then we'll jump directly into your life story, how you started with music and how you start producing your own music. And so, T-Bai, what songs are you currently working on, and do you have a label? Do you have everything? Let the world know.
Okay, so yeah, my name's T-Bai. That's Tyler Bailey. That's how I got the name. Right now, I currently just dropped a new album called Disconnected. Go check for that on Spotify, iTunes, any of the platforms. Right now, yeah, I'm currently working on a lot of new stuff. Got a couple albums that I want to drop this year. I'm actually a recording artist / early childhood educator. So I'm working with kids during the day in the studio at night. So it's kind of hard sometimes to do that contrast.
The police coming after us, man. You dropped too much fire, bro.
I'm not here.
Wow, I didn't know the early educator part.
Yeah,
Are
man.
you a teacher?
Yeah.
So I wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
That was the plan. And actually, so I applied to Teachers College in the fall. And I just found out in February that I didn't get accepted. So
Okay.
that kind of shaped the year for me, because leading up to that, I kind of saw myself in the classroom full time, 9 to 5 with the kids. Right now, I'm kind of on a split shift. So I'm there early in the morning, then I'm there in the evening when the kids are done school. So I have that big chunk of the day in between to like play ball, make music, relax, sleep, smoke, whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
Right. But when I didn't get accepted, that's kind of when I had to take a step back and be like, all right, what am I really trying to do now? Right. Because they were saying if I wanted to reapply, I would have to take some more courses, bump my average back up. And I was like, no, that's not really in the plans for me. So I kind of told myself, you know what? I just put out this dope album. I just crushed this show on my birthday, had a birthday show, turned 30, finally in the 30 club.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you,
Congrats,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, I crushed the show, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can still do what I'm doing now, but let me just turn it up a notch with the music. And that kind of gave me the push I needed, not getting accepted.
Yeah.
So I was really sad for a bit. And it took me a while to kind of get things going again. But once I did, yeah, I told myself, all right, let me really go hard with the music this year.
Yeah. So like you mentioned, you just dropped that new album, Disconnected. Me and Andy got in on that early access. It was fire, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, I was interested. You know, I didn't get to talk to you for a while, except for when we had a call to talk about this episode. But where does the name come from, or what was the inspiration behind Disconnected?
Right. So actually naming tracks and naming albums is like harder for me than making the actual song. To be honest with you, like that's like the last thing I do. I know a lot of people will have the title already in mind before they do a song that can kind of steer them in the direction. But for me, I like to record the song, sit on it for a bit, then I kind of like let the name hit me. So for Disconnected, it took me a while to think about the title. But I was just feeling disconnected from society, just really focused on this music. And Toronto's like a different beast. You know, everyone's hustling and doing their own thing. So I just didn't really feel connected with what people were doing. That's when the name Disconnected came to me. And I was like, yeah, this kind of sounds cool. And I like to sit on it for a bit, right? I don't like to just jump to it like, oh yeah, this is the title. So after a week, it just rolled off the tongue, like Disconnected. Yeah, this is the vibe for that one.
And you know, you mentioned Toronto. You definitely have a different sound from what you would think when you hear a Toronto rapper, right? Instantly, you think of bootleg Drakes or you know
R&B style.
Yeah. Bootleg Weekend. Justin Bieber shout out.
Do you feel sometimes like that really affects your perception of saying like Toronto rapper?
Yeah. Because as Kev said, you know, I don't really want to fall under that lane, like, oh, he's just another Toronto rapper.
That label, yeah.
Exactly. So I try to diversify the music, and I don't really like staying in the same lane per se. I always like experimenting, trying out new flows, trying out new melodies and harmonies. And so my favorite artist is Kid Cudi.
Wow.
Of course.
Ever since I was in high school,
Yep.
He's the one that really, first it was Eminem, but I wasn't even rapping at the time. I could feel the pain through his music, and I was like, yeah, this guy's real.
Yeah.
Compared to all the radio hits that were being played at the time. And then when I got older, started smoking weed.
Just like Cudi.
Came across Kid Cudi, and I was like, oh, this guy's different.
Yeah.
I like that different sound that he's offering. It wasn't mainstream. It was still underground. And as he grew as an artist, I kind of grew with him. So I've seen like the rock phase he went through, did some alternative stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. You're talking about Man on the Moon. That's the OG. That's the one
that's the OG that really hooked me.
Yeah.
You know? And then, as I was reflecting and trying to see where I want to go as an artist, I would always touch base with Cudi, and he would kind of reassure me that, yeah, it's okay to try new things and not just stay in one lane. So that's kind of why I'm not really a Toronto rapper, right? Yeah.
You have the New York vibe, honestly.
Oh, cool.
Like the Cudi vibe.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And actually, so Cudi is from Cleveland.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But he moved to New York
Yep.
to start, doing his shit.
Yeah.
So that might be in the plans for me, hopefully.
He worked at the Babe store, and then he
did.
met Kanye West, and
Yep.
started making music. Yeah.
Yep,
I'm a
yep.
big Kid Cudi fan as well. in
Oh,
high
shit,
school.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Respect.
actually, I don't know if you know, so he dropped a new album in January.
With his movie.
And Intergalactic,
So,
right?
so,
Yeah.
so there was that one.
Yeah.
But then he dropped a new one,
Oh yes, you're right.
Insano.
Yeah.
And then he just dropped another album yesterday.
oh wow, he's putting in
Two
work.
albums in 2 months. And I thought it was going to be like a deluxe thing,
Yeah.
like maybe 5 or 6
Just new
additional
music.
songs.
Yeah.
Straight new album, like 19 new tracks. So it's like 30 Cudi songs in 2 months. So as a fan, I'm like, oh man,
It's a blessing.
heaven. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know?
It might be telling you that to keep going on that route.
Exactly.
With all with the school stuff and the acceptance, it's like maybe I don't know. God's challenging you on doing something else. Like
For
keep,
sure,
keep
man.
pursuing your dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I think your sound is very distinct. It's very, it's kind of has a bit of an old soul, very smooth, very slow, like great song to, light up to. You know what I mean? Where does that influence come from? Was there music in your family growing up, or?
Yeah, so my dad was a saxophone player back in the day.
There we go.
You got it.
My mom loves gospel. They both are very musical, so there's always music in the house playing. That's kind of where I got my my background from, the music background from my parents. But the love of hip hop came in high school when I was just tired of hearing all the radio stuff, and YouTube wasn't really popping at the time.
Yeah.
Like how it is now. So I really had to dig deep to try to find the underground hip hop. And then when I did, it was like, oh shit, I've never heard this rapper or this rapper or this group.
All the
or this group.
mixtapes, right?
All the mixtapes. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was that mixtape era.
Yeah.
And And actually, A Tribe Called Quest, they're probably one of my favorite rap groups. And I remember when I first heard "Can I Kick It?"
Yeah.
Just that, just so slow, and I was like, oh, this is
Very different. Yeah.
very
Soulful,
different,
right?
soulful. Yeah. And I didn't necessarily take that lane in my music at the time, but I went through like a 3-4 year period where I was just only on underground hip hop, just trying to rediscover what I didn't know and find out about all these artists. So that's kind of where I got the chill vibe from, just those 4 years in the trenches, just listening to old school hip hop. Yeah, even to this day, you know, I'm not really a trap guy. And the mainstream sound, it's cool, but it just doesn't resonate with me, right? But the old school hip hop, yeah, the soulful tracks and songs, those really stick with me.
And you mentioned to us before the show that your team is thinking of having a show in Europe or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So a buddy of mine, he does a lot of my cover artwork. He's from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So he's moving back just because Toronto's crazy prices and everything. He's having a kid. So he's going to move back home, but he's already connected back home. So once he gets back there, he's going to link back up with his connects and try and get something in the works for myself and the team to fly out and do some shows in Amsterdam. So that would be crazy, man.
Isn't that the city to be?
That's the city to be. That's the city to be.
Do you feel in terms of like rap culture is very different from North American and European?
It is, yeah. Especially like lately, I'd say the past couple of years, I've been really diving into the grime scene.
Yeah.
In the UK. Yeah, and even now, the past couple of years. So there was like the underground grime. Then they were doing stuff on dubstep beats. And now there's like a big drill scene in UK, like UK drill. That to me is crazy, next level.
I heard Japanese drill as well. Is
oh shit,
it's coming out.
Actually, I did hear one song.
Yeah,
it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah.
I feel like the international scene tends to be a lot more experimental compared to North America, where there's a clear like mainstream sound.
The Atlanta sound.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, if you get the opportunity to check out Netherlands, I feel like that could open the doors for more international music.
For sure, yeah, and even international collabs.
Right.
Yes.
You know, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing music? You know, I would say kind of professionally, or putting out albums and stuff.
So I started making music in high school.
Right.
I was actually really bad when I first started. I was not a good rapper. No one around me was rapping at the time.
Okay.
It was kind of like, let me try this out. I'm always down to try new things. So when it came to rap, it was, you know, just another, let me try this out. So I just found a YouTube beat, wrote a couple bars, and that same night I called my friend. I said, yo, just come over, check out these bars. They weren't that good, but I had one funny bar that kind of had him laugh a bit. And just that reaction, it was like, it was a cool feeling, you know, like to sit down on my own and write something, then recite it and have someone, you know, show, oh shit, like a cool reaction.
That was a good, yeah.
So that's kind of what got the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another reason why I connected with Cuddy, because as soon as I started writing, I just couldn't stop. And I was really just on my own in high school. From like grade 11 and 12 was like way different than grade 9 and 10. Grade 9 and 10, sports and parties and all that. But grade 11 and 12, I was really, you know, in the library, just in the corner writing, still trying to better myself. And shout out to my close friends, because I find that as an artist, it's cool to hear, oh, you're doing well, this song is cool. But for me, I appreciate when someone says, I like this, but this could be better, you know? And
getting that feedback.
The feedback, you know, the constructive criticism. And a couple of my homies, they pulled me aside. So I was still dropping tracks on YouTube. They weren't that good. And then my homies were like, yo, you gotta just take a step back, find yourself, find your flow, and then go from there. So then that's when I came to Toronto for school. I was in Brampton, and as I said, there wasn't really a lot of people rapping. Then I came to the big city, I was immersed in the culture, and I found a lot more people that were doing what I'm doing, a lot more like-minded people. So I was able to grow as an artist in the city. That's kind of where I started to get my sound and feel who I am as an artist. Then I think I dropped my first official album in 2017, I think. It's called What's Going On, Spotify, iTunes. You can find that if you want. And then from there, it's just been a journey, you know. I try to drop something every year. I don't like just letting time go by where I'm just stagnant. So I'm always trying to be on the ball, whether it's shows or merch or albums. So since 2017, I'd say officially I've been
on the grind,
like a rapper.
Yeah,
you know, like official rapper.
What do you?
Oh no, you can go ahead.
I'm curious. How would you? What do you feel are kind of your strengths as a rapper? Because I know there's kind of different elements like freestyle,
right?
You know, lyricism, storytelling, flow. Kind of how would you define? What would you say defines your kind of style?
That's a good question. Off the top, I'd say melodies and finding different harmonies and hooks. Back then, actually, before I was able to compose like a full verse, I was only doing hooks. My friends called me Captain Hook back then. I would like do the hooks, and my homies would come in and do the verses, like fill in that gap.
Gotcha.
So my homies were really good at rapping. I was still on the come up. I was really good at the hooks.
You had
my
the
homies
voice.
were on the come up with the hooks. Exactly. So I helped them get better with the hooks. They helped me get better with the raps.
Okay.
But yeah, from like day one, Cuddy, he's so many melodies, very melodic, all the hums,
hummings,
you know, you already know, bro.
Yeah,
You're a Cuddy fan. Yeah. So I feel like that really inspired me, and that's like the lane that I'm in, that main lane of harmonies and melodies. That's like my forte.
And where does the inspiration come from? So when you rap, when you're sitting down in the library,
Right.
What were you writing about?
Right. So there's two different methods to that.
Yeah.
If I'm just at home by myself, no beat, because the beat kind of gives me a direction.
Of course, yeah.
Right. If it's like a turn up beat, I'm gonna get in that turn up mode. If it's something
yeah.
like slower, chill, I'll get more introspective. As opposed to if I'm just writing with no beat, that's when I just like to sit down, really ask myself, how am I feeling right now?
Okay.
Right. Because sometimes I'll be feeling really down, feeling really sad, but I want to do a party record, but it's like, nah, it's not how I'm feeling right now. It won't really come off authentic. Right. And I feel like as an artist, I can really relate when people pour their heart out on the page, you know, and that's something that not a lot of people are doing nowadays. So anytime something bad happens, for example, like when I didn't get accepted, I think I found out on like a Wednesday. So I had work the Wednesday, work the Thursday, work Friday. So I had to still be in work mode. But then as soon as the weekend was done, I was still feeling pretty down. But I was like, you know what? Let me write about this, right? And I think that night I banged out like 3 tracks. One of them was kind of chill and in my thoughts, just rapping about life and what's going on. But then one of them was a party record. One of them was like a turn up, chill vibe.
Yeah, make you feel better a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
So I usually have a question for all my guests, but I think I'll go something different, right? I'd like to throw you this existential question out there. Let's say, hypothetically, you were only allowed to do one thing out of everything you know. Let's say you couldn't perform anymore, you couldn't sing anymore. You had to choose between writing, performing, rapping, producing. What is one thing you would like to keep doing for the rest of your life?
It's another good question.
Because I mean, you love the entire process.
Right. For me, I'd say it's performing. Actually, little side story. When I was in middle school, grade 7, that's when I had my first shot of being a performer, not a rapper. I was actually in a play. I was in the school musical, the Aladdin, and
Oh wow.
yeah,
The Disney movie?
Disney movie. Yeah. And so prior to that, all my boys were in the school, and for recess we'd always be playing sports, and we would always say, all right, when grade 7 comes along, no one can join the school play, because for recesses we had to rehearse. So we had no recess.
Yeah.
For like September up until the end of the year, we're always in the drama room rehearsing.
Dang.
But then we had a really, really bad grade 6 teacher that kind of split up all my friends, and they went to different schools, and I was kind of like the last one standing. And then I remember when grade 7 came around, I was like, fuck, I'm like the only one here like playing ball by myself with these grade 4s and grade 3s.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess I got to join the play, right? So I went to the audition, was kind of fooling around, just being funny. And they're like, all right, you're going to be the genie in Aladdin. I was like, all right, cool. And to be honest with you, so they had us highlight all of our lines in the book, the playbook. And I think there was like 2 months before the play or 3 months before the play, I was snowboarding and I broke my ankle. It was my first time snowboarding, and I broke my ankle. And I remember coming into school that Monday on crutches, and the drama teacher like broke down crying because we were just starting choreography.
Yeah.
And I have the big song, Friend Like Me, right? So I told her, yo, don't worry. Like, I know I'll be fine. Just give me like a couple weeks. I'll be good. Then I ended up being fine. But then about like a month before the play, it was like a 2-night thing. I was at home on like a Sunday, and I didn't know like any of my lines, if I'm being honest with you. I would be there in the drama sessions and whatnot, but I didn't study my lines. And then one day it just hit me. One Sunday I was like, you know what, let me just take a look at this playbook. And I was looking through it and I was like, holy shit, I have a lot of lines. Like I'm the genie.
Yeah. I hit you a month before.
What have I been doing the whole school year?
Yeah.
You know? And then from that moment on, it's just like something clicked in my brain. I was like, yo, I really gotta study these lines. I don't want to embarrass myself. Yeah, in front of, you know, everyone.
Yeah.
So from that day, yeah, like I really buckled down and studied the shit out of that play. And then yeah, when it came down to it, I was like super nervous before because the genie comes in halfway through the play.
Yeah.
Right. So I was off to the side the whole play, watching everyone do their thing. I was like, oh shit, everyone's doing so good, man. Like I'm about to come in, I'm the genie, you know. But then as soon as I got on stage, it was like all those nerves just vanished, you know. And when I look back on it, I realized it was because I put the time in and I took it seriously, you know. And then the following year I had another role in the school play. But when it comes to performing, I find, if I'm being honest, the level of performances have been going down from what I've been seeing from other rappers. Back then, when I used to go to shows, I used to love seeing artists rap the whole song, you know?
Yeah.
Nowadays, you go to a show, it's lazy, you know? They'll have their full track playing in the background. They might rap one word for every 7 words, you know? They might just bop around for a whole verse, and it's like I don't want to pay money to see this, you know, to hear the official song in the background. I could just, you know, stay at home and listen to the album, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of steered me in my direction to where I wanted to be as an artist and a performer. You know, like I didn't want to be like these rappers that I'm seeing. So anytime it comes down to a show, like I make sure I put the time in, study my lyrics, study the bars. Even just, you know, like I'll grab the brush or grab a remote and just go in the mirror and practice all the moves.
That's the best way.
Like,
yeah.
And that kind of, like right now I love performing, right? And I always have, but I feel like just doing those things kind of geared me up to be like a good performer, you know? And like I just turned 30 in January, and it was my longest set. So I did 30 tracks for my 30th birthday.
How long was the whole show?
So the show
2
was
hours?
2 hours. Yeah. I'd say the first set was like an hour long. Second set was like 30 minutes, like an hour, 45 minutes. But yeah, it was, that really showed me that, yeah, I can do this, you know, and that gave me the confidence to just keep going and keep performing. So yeah, to answer your question, it would be performing.
Awesome. And so on that last note for the mini episode, where can we find you?
You can find me here right now. I'm in the building with KYP, you know. aside from that, I'm chili chicken on rice on the Instagram.
Fire handle.
Delicious.
And then aside from that, I'm T-Bai, the rapper, T-Bai, Spotify and iTunes or any of the music platforms. You can find me there.
Perfect. As always, thank you for tuning in to the mini episode. My name is Danny. I'm here with my co-host
KYP James.
KG.
and our special guest,
T-Bai.
and this is T-Bai.
Try telling y'all things ain't the same, man. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Check. Ricky Bobby, man, my life is going one speed.